Big news going around the TM Lights paddock is that Brinson Engineering has lost their primary sponsor, who hasn't really been paying them ever since they started doing well, incidentally enough. They have pulled the logos off the hood of the 25 car. Winning the Delano Pole Award in car number 45, Mariano Zavala, the Venezuelan, driving for Interline Motorsports, the first Venezuelan to win the pole. As you see here, Lane Cranston in the 14 car has got a big mechanical problem. Right off the bat in the pace lap, he pulled the 14 car into the pits, and Lane Cranston never took the green flag. Zavala gets a good jump on the rest of the field. Paul Lyons getting the 2 car gets a terrible start. Jacob Card in the 15 car, in the Rick Milligan 15 car, holds holding station. Oh, we got some silly. Oh no, we got a big pileup on the main straight before everyone gets to turn 1. More contact in turn 1. I do believe got another car off. Anyways, here's Jacob Eichholz in the 31 as he moves over into Claire Aussier. Aussier doesn't give him any room. And, well, that's just silly, isn't it? As there's Dan Richards, the 133 car, into the wall as well. But Jacob Eichholz is, well, not exactly going to be on Claire Aussier's Christmas card list at the end of this year. Anyways, as you see here, Costas Theodorakis got hooked and turned around by Calvin O'Reilly in the 67 car. And Matt Brinson in the 25 car drove off the track just so as he wouldn't pile into anyone else. Good thinking there by Brinson. As you see here, Jacob Card in turn 3, lap 1, gets around Mariano Zavala, and he assumes the lead of the race. Paul Lyons in the 2 car is going to try to follow him through in that black and pink under construction car. Leah Cerrone, car number 8, has moved up into 5th. Cerrone has really not been very impressive this year. The Brazilian has easily been the worst of the 3 drivers that Lynx has driving for them. However, Cerrone has really turned it around this weekend. In fact, she qualified much better than Aussier and Ashley Tucker did, and, well, Aussier is already in trouble in her home race, and, well, Tucker's not having much better time out here. As you see, Bob Steffens getting a little poke from the 1 car of James Jones. He goes up the track, but he's a little slow in rejoining. I wonder if he's got a problem. Whoa! That could have been a big pileup right there, but maybe it looks like there's problems with the 07 car. Joe Olenek in the 23 car gets into the back of Axel Andersson in the 4. Here comes Brooke Ingverson, and around goes Olenek. That was a little ambitious on the part of Brooke Ingverson, but then again, Joe Olenek was kind of giving the 4 car, trying to bump the 4 car out of the way. I think... Oh, actually, Olenek made contact with the 4 car first, hooked the 4 car, and, well, he was going to send himself off to the left, and, well, right into the 61 as we got Mariano Zavala and Darren Cardell making contact. Zavala moved over on Cardell. Cardell had none of that, and, well then, Darren Cardell might be investigated for that after this one, but Zavala, big contact, and, oh, we got more. That's Washington turning around the Archer Harris 79 car. Oh, whoa, Takumi Nagata, no brakes at all in the 64. And oh, Azure into it again. Well, if Azure's luck couldn't get any worse, he wouldn't have any luck at all. And, well, that's very unfortunate for that 46 team. As Zavala is really rather slow on track right now. Oh, contact with Mike Durbin, who just ran into him for no good reason. Dexter Hamlet piling into it as usual. And oh, what? Why are people still crashing? There's the 51 car of Mike Andrews, who got turned around by Quan Singh, who's really been off the road more times than he's been on it all weekend. Paul Lyons has got a problem in the 2 car, and that problem might be Leah Cerrone, or that could be mechanical problems. We're hoping that Lyons didn't just have a rather catastrophic failure there, but it looks like he just made a mistake. Here's Jim Davidson in the 29 car, who's been really making some headway. A little contact with Cardell. This 29 car's really been quick all weekend, and he's really looking for a pretty good result here. There's looking a little back here, and Vijay Pushanda. He's running up in 7th, and he's had a terrible season so far, but worse than Leah Cerrone, and he's really turning it around this week. He's been fast. He's actually topped 2nd practice, so there is quite a bit of speed from the Indian driver who, remember last year, drove for Scuderia Tutino and was arguably their best driver last year. Here's Costas Theodorakis in the 3 car. He's managed... Oh, whoa! Ike Durbin stopped in the middle of the track, and, oh, we're stacking him up again, or maybe not, but, well, anyways, Got, looks like Friedrich Jaeger off course. Here's Ike Durbin dawdling in the middle of the racing line. Washington nowhere to go, but right into him. And Ike Durbin probably should pull off into the grass, and Theodoricus just piles right into the back of him. Doesn't make his situation any better. Ike Durbin not exactly having the same kind of season he did last year, as Leah Cerrone has got a bit of a train of cars behind her right now, as Paul Lyons in the 2 car is going to go by. There's Joel Rodriguez, the Puerto Rican, right there as well. Cerrone is up to second. Cerrone hanging on, though. Fastest lap of the race is actually just turned last time by Cameron Taylor in the 68 car. As you see Cerrone beginning to pull away a bit from Lyons, gets a better exit off of 3. There's Cameron Taylor. He's back in 18th place. He didn't qualify all that well, but he was very fast in practice. There were some people that were astonished that he didn't qualify in the top 10. But Team Timothy is really optimistic about this race. They're running the Master Cup race tomorrow. There's Rodriguez. Gets a little bit of a punt off the track. And, well, he's going to... At least he's not making sandcastles, because he can get that car out of the grass quite easily. But he's way far back now. Brooke Ingverson is running in 14th place in the Matthews Motorsport 61. Not entirely blameless in that contact earlier with Joe Olenek, but not entirely her fault either. Got Daniel Melrose right behind her as well, but Daniel Melrose is in trouble. The Australian Mad Uncle Melrose is in trouble in the 73 car. He was looking forward to this one because he's quite an accomplished road racer, Formula A driver of note. And Melrose is going to get a setback here. His teammate, Darren Cardell, in the meantime, is busy running into the back of somebody else. Darren Cardell has not had any luck this year. He's second to last in the championship, but he's been very fast and should have had multiple podiums by now. Here is the battle for the lead between Jacob Card and Leah Cerrone. And this is the closest Leah Cerrone's come to the lead all season long, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, Jacob Card holding off Cerrone. Cerrone's going to scoot right on by. It looks like Cerrone. Great move around the outside of Jacob Card. And Card, and that's 15 car, must have burned his tires up because he's really sliding around. The Canadian really wanting to impress in front of his, the closest he's going to get to a home race. He's from the Toronto area. Paul Lyons in the 2 car right behind him. And, looks like they're all pitting together. TM Lights cars, they don't have the largest fuel cells, which does lead to scenarios like this, where you have TM Lights cars making pit stops very quickly. Some people are guessing as many as 4 stops today. As you see, most of the field looked like they all pit in the same lap as Jacob Card. In that 15 car is going to... Oh, Buffy Boreanaz in there! And Card off! Jacob Card hooked and turned by Buffy Boreanaz, who really... Buffy just came in, hooked the left rear of the 15 car, had no intention of letting Card take the spot at all. Not very sportsmanlike on the part of the 24 team for that one. A little further back in the pack, here's James Jones in the number 1 car, the same car that Troy Adams won the title in. Gets hooked by Robert Blake, and poor James Davidson's got more damage to that 29 car. And here's a battle for the lead right now between Vijay Pushanda and Brandon LaRoe in the 33 car. Now, LaRoe's been pretty quick this weekend as well. Pushanda actually led a lap right there, but now LaRoe's got it in this 33 car. They've got a new sponsor that's going to be coming on for that 33 car soon, hopefully. As now it looks like Pushanda's going to have to deal with it. His teammate, Ike Durbin, who is not playing very nice. I don't really know why Ike Durbin isn't just moving over for him. He's way down. This track is over 5 miles long. A lot of long straightaways here. And not exactly doing his team in any favors. As Cameron Taylor in the 68 car is really making some headway, along with Han Yong-sung in the 71. Han Yong-sung has been dynamite on the big tracks, on the larger ovals, and clearly here as well. So it looks like the longer the track, the faster he is. That doesn't seem to apply to just ovals, but Han Yong-sung, the Korean driver, has really been on fire lately, and here he is running Vijay Pushanda down. He wants a podium spot, and it looks like he's got a podium contending car. There's Gerald Johnson getting hooked off the track by Steve Holliday Jr. New paint job on that 88 car, you might have noticed, but he just escorted Johnson off the track and into an early retirement. For Friedrich Jaeger in, but he's way down the order, along with Brandon LaRoe, Han Young-sung in the 71 car. Doing likewise, Ashley Tucker in the 12 car is having a pretty good run so far. As you see Vijay Pushanda and Cameron Taylor staying out just a little bit longer, and they clearly are throwing the dice, and hopefully it'll work out for the two of them. Cameron Taylor in that 68 car, though, just absolutely flying through this field right now. There are a lot of people that are surprised that he didn't get a Master Cup drive because of his impressive performances last year. Oh, LaRoe into the back of the 12 car, Tucker. And Tucker off the road. Ashley Tucker did exit very slowly over there, but the 33 car just punted Tucker off the track. Leah Cerrone in the 8 car is gonna... Whoa! Cerrone hooks the 16 car, Thurston Blood, off the track. I think, to be fair, though, I think Thurston Blood ran that turn a bit wide, but Cerrone didn't have any of that. Cameron Taylor is running up in second now. He's got... there's a 73 car. Looks like Melrose did rejoin, but he was in the pits for quite a long time. Kwan Singh right here is in 17th. Claire Alcey still running. And Alcey running in the back of Mark Blackwell in the other Unit 11 car, and around goes the 59, and oh, Mike Andrews into him, into the side, and over goes the 59 car in a spectacular series of rolls. Ironically enough, Singh punted the 51 car in the first lap. 33 car is still leading the race. Brandon LaRoe in this 33 car is really, the couple of laps that he's been out in the lead, he hasn't really had any problems. But granted, he's spent quite a bit of time in the lead, but remember, these cars are lapping very slowly around this track. So, well, anyways, there's been a lot of speculation lately that the TM Lights cars could use the same fuel cells as the Master Cup Series cars soon. And this race, I think, might be why. As you see, Cameron Taylor staying out to lead another lap in that 68 car. Vijay Pushanda, though, appears to be leading quite a few laps here due to pit strategy here, as he's right now in second. Bobby Dollar, running in 10th place, has run here on many different occasions. There's been some speculation that Black Diamond Racing might put him in the 44 car, which is their third car, in the Master Cup Series side of things for Road America, where, of course, Bobby Dollar does have a fair bit of experience, so they might put him in the car for that race, and might give Paul Lyons another go later on in the year. As I mentioned earlier, Matt Brinson's team has been having some sponsor troubles, and interestingly enough, once they started getting very fast, that sponsor stopped paying. He's running up in the top 10, and this 25 car has been having a pretty solid day. And oh, there's Darren Cardell, and around... There's got to be about 25 different people that Darren Cardell's run into today. Whether it's on purpose or not makes no difference. Darren Cardell has really just... I think Cardell might just be getting fed up of the amount of bad luck he's been having and is now just resorting to running into people. Well, I have a feeling Cardell might be seeing the stewards after this one for a little chat. Brandon LaRoe is leading the race. Cameron Taylor is second. Third is Vijay Pushanda, and Han Young-sung is sitting back in fourth. Cameron Taylor in that 68 car is gaining quite a bit of ground on this 33 car. He's staying out again, running long on this pit cycle, and he's gaining quite a bit of ground this way. There's been some speculation, actually, that Team Timothy might change the paint job on the 68 car, which I think would be a little bit of a travesty, especially if they bring back what they had last year. Here is the 18 car of Vijay Pushanda trying to hold off the 71 of Han Young-sung. Pushanda has led quite a few laps already in this race. Usually when other people are pitting, he's been able to stay out quite a bit longer. He's not exactly playing the usual strategy here. There's the 33 car in. Brandon LaRoe. Here's the 68 staying out once again. Cameron Taylor throwing the dice along with, I think, the 18 car. The 18 car should be staying out as well. Vijay Pushanda in the Great Lakes Motorsports car. There's the Cameron Taylor car. He's going to be running the Round of Ohio, we believe, with Team Timothy. There is Calvin O'Reilly back in 20th place. The car number 67. We've actually mistaken O'Reilly. Oh, O'Reilly got punted by Robert Blake there because Blake was getting held up, but we've actually mistaken Taylor's car for O'Reilly's car on quite a few occasions. They do look very similar, so Team Timothy was actually thinking about changing the paint job on that car as Cameron Taylor pits. comes out, and we got a couple of cars right behind him, and I do believe Cameron Taylor is going to be leading this race. There is Brandon LaRoe. Yes, Cameron Taylor has taken over the lead. Confirmation of that. There's Azure in the 46 car. He hasn't had any luck at all, but you notice Jim Davidson being a very, very polite back marker. Cameron Taylor now being reeled in by Brandon LaRoe, who has finally gotten his tires up to temperature, and whereas Cameron Taylor running a bit more conservatively right now. That's going to come back late in the run as Taylor tries to pinch him off. LaRoe on the inside, and looks like LaRoe is going to take the lead back. So the 33 car back on point, and there he goes back into the lead of the race. And here is the 33 car into the pits once again. Right after that lap. So there's Cameron Taylor in as well. So Taylor pits with Brandon LaRoe now. So it looks like Taylor is throwing the dice a little differently. He's going to be trying to be on the same pit strategy as his main rival. Both these guys now are way behind Vijay Pushanda in the 18 car. But as you see, there's the gap. Cameron Taylor a little behind Brandon LaRoe. And LaRoe in the 33 car going around the, there's a Chip Stefano car on the inside, the 426 car driven by Yafaliani Mia. Vijay Pushanda is actually way out in the lead right now, but these two are, this is going to end up being the battle for the win, it looks like, between Brandon LaRoe and Cameron Taylor, unless something else happens. Last time by, LaRoe not that much quicker than Cameron Taylor, but Cameron Taylor really reeled him in the last couple of laps, and we've got a real battle for the win in our hands. This is the final lap of the race as Cameron Taylor, as they come through turn 2, coming down into turn 3, is Cameron Taylor, is he going to be able to get it done here? He makes a move. He's got it, something going on in the exit of 3, and he might get it. LaRoe did not quite get as good of an exit off of 3. He was too busy defending early, and Cameron Taylor is going to go by. Cameron Taylor trying to hang on as LaRoe trying to fight back. He's got a couple more chances to do it. And the 68 car. Cameron Taylor now trying to hold him off again. LaRoe gives him a shot. Is that going to leave the door wide open? It looks like it. Cameron Taylor's going to have to defend it. LaRoe coming through on the inside. No, doesn't quite have enough there. Cameron Taylor hangs on to the lead. So far, doesn't have too many more corners to go. But but LaRoe still may have a couple of chances here. But Cameron Taylor in that 68 car hanging on, pulling away with one corner to go. Cameron Taylor in the Team Timothy number 68. This is a Canadian team with an Ohio driver. Cameron Taylor comes down to take his first TM Lights win of the season and a signal that he is clearly back on top form. Cameron Taylor wins the race over Brandon LaRoe, came in second. Both drivers led 4 laps. Vijay Pushanda led 8. However, like I said earlier, that was largely due to when other people were pitting and he was staying out. Bobby Dollar, Bob Steffens, good recovery for the 07 team. They ended up throwing the dice after they ran into problems early. Han Young Sung in the Gravity car. Rodriguez, Hamlet, Blackwell, and Richards round out the top 10. And Richards ran into trouble on lap 1 before he even made it to the first corner. So good job by the EV Racing team to really correct that mistake. Brooke Ingverson, the 61, was meeting with race control, we believe, after the end of this race. Matt Brinson, decent recovery there. Scott Washington, Leah Cerrone, who dropped through the field very quickly. Alcier and Eichholz, who I don't think are on speaking terms after this one. Holiday Jr., Blake, Melrose, and Davidson rounded out the points. Winning the Delano Pole Award for the TM Lights race at Ohio Motor Speedway, Claire Aussier, the French-Canadian, in the number 11, Lynx women's team Gessler. Her teammate Ashley Tucker in the 12 is on the outside of the front row. Then you got Jacob Eichholz and Dan Richards, the ASCC champion. And then on row 3, you've got Joe Olenek in the TARDIS 23, and Scott Washington in Alex Harrison's 0 car. There you see the 11 car, though, of Aussier trying to pull away quickly. Aussier's been very, very fast all weekend long. Joe Olenek in the 23 car, the TARDIS 23, trying to impress in front of the TM Master Cup Series team owners, all of whom are here this weekend. So Olenek trying to do something, trying to get his name out there, along with Ashley Tucker in the 12. Winning in front of the Master Cup team owners at Darlington certainly helped her case. But Tucker, I think, was looking more out of her performance at Quebec. But now we're back here to a short oval, and we'll see how Tucker is able to do today. Aussier, on the other hand, is pulling away from the field quite easily. Alcier in this 11 car led first practice and second practice as well, so it really looks like Alcier might have an easy time with things. Leah Cerrone, the third car in the Lynx women's team, really has not been on her teammates' pace all weekend long. Steve Holliday Jr. in fourth. Well, thankfully, they kept that paint job for this race, too. For a minute, we were all getting worried that that was just a one-off paint job and that the hideous car they had earlier would return. Dan Richards, the 133 car, tags the wall after he got tagged by the 0 of Scott Washington. So 8 laps in, and we're under caution. Well, some people are predicting a repeat of what we had last season, which was a race with very high attrition as Kostas Theodorakis in the 3 car pulls into the pits. He's got smoke coming out of the back of that car, we believe. So, anyways, Claire Alcier leads on the restart. Dan Richards had a long pit stop to repair damage. A couple other people had very slow pit stops as well. Alcier in the 11. Whoa, Ike Durbin. He's a lap down, trying to get his lap back. Alcier, though, nearly visited the fence because of Ike Durbin, and Ike Durbin wasn't exactly very friendly at, well, as you remember, at Road Gatineau. Here is Steve Holliday Jr. trying to battle with Takumi Nagata for position, and Archer Harris in the 79 car pits, while the rest of the field was, during that last shot there, so the 79, the second Rick Milligan car, not having a very good day again. Here is Claire Alcier, though, in the 11. Got a couple lap cars in between her and second place, and I think that'll definitely play to her advantage. Oh, here we got 3 wide. Here in a flat oval like this. This could end in tears very quickly. That's Calvin O'Reilly in the middle in that 67 car. He's got in the inside Thurston Blood, the series champion from 2 years ago. Dan Richards is a lap down on the outside. Friedrich Jaeger coming into play in the Eagler 96. There's Olenek, and right in the middle there's Mike Andrews in the 51, who won the pole for this race, if I remember rightly, last year. Trying to look on the inside, but no, nothing there. Mike Andrews having a disaster of a year so far in that 51. Here's Leah Cerrone in the 8 car, trying to claw her way through the field, along with that 46 car of Azure, who's really, Azure just wants a race where nothing bad happens, and I think then he might actually get some more points. Here's Axel Andersson, car number 4. He is a serious threat in the title race. He's running back in 12th. And he hasn't won a race yet this year, but he has certainly been a very, very steady competitor out there this year in that 4 car. So he could definitely be a very serious... Oh, and he saw Joel Rodriguez making a dive bomb. Got out of the way quickly because, pretty sure Leonard Roderick could tell him all about that. Even though that team is actually managed by Leonard Roderick's father, Barrett Roderick, or Barry as everyone prefers to call him, but... Anyways, Dexter Hamlet running up in 5th place, has not crashed into anything yet. And the 73 car is Mad Uncle Daniel Melrose, who's running up in 6th. And Melrose has really taken to the short ovals very, very well. Both the Melrose Racing Team cars are running tomorrow's Master Cup Series race. So MRT is doing the double duty here, and it's paying off, it looks like, as the 133 car of Dan Richards, not exactly... the most courteous of back markers until, Alcier makes a move on him. So Richards continuing to kind of get in people's way. Looking back at Leah Cerrone following Darren Cardell towards the front. And Cerrone in this 8 car, really, there's a lot of people wondering whether or not she really deserves to be in this series. But regardless, she's not doing a terrible job today. And here is Ike Durbin in the 08 car, and Jacob Eicholtz in that 31 is back in 2nd, and neither Durbin or the 59 Quan Singh getting out of the way. And here's the 133 car of Dan Richards, and he's slow. He's trying to get out of everyone's way, but the problem is around short ovals when you have a lot of lap traffic is that oftentimes they don't exactly have the opportunity to get out of the way in time. And Ike Durbin in the 08 car has now been forced to the outside. The 31 of Eicholtz has still got to deal with another lap car, that being the 59. But as you see right there, just battling with the 08 cars cost him quite a bit of time to Claire Alcier. Alcier backing it down just a little bit because we actually have a long green run going here. Much to our surprise, I was expecting this to be a caution-filled race. Robert Blake in the 7 car. He's got some problems there. He's going to pull that car off the track and, surprisingly, does not draw a caution. Dan Richards in the 133 car pitted. Now he's the fastest car in the track because, well, everyone has been staying out just to avoid getting caught out when there's a yellow. There's the 7 car. Who's off to the inside there. Robert Blake in the 7 car pulled that car off track. No yellow, surprisingly. They got him off track before that was the case. But anyways, Richards is faster than the leader. Not exactly wanting to play nice there as he's trying to unlap himself, trying to get himself back in this race. Buffy Boreana is back in 4th in this 24 car. Really rebounding from that messy week she had up at Road Gatineau. But trying to have a better week of things here as here's Claire Alcier in the 11 car. Holding off Archer Harris. I don't think that's a car she expected to be racing with. But Harris is a couple laps down, trying to get one of them back. And Alcier trying not to let him in, because if she lets him in, then that's going to give Eichholz in the 31 a shot at the lead. And there's Eichholz trying to get a... no, Alcier lets the 79 in and shuts the door on him. So, Eichholz going to have to find another way by. And he might have that opportunity here. But with the 11 car and the 31 pit at the same time, but we got contact right behind them as Robert Blake has rejoined the race, gets into Leah Cerrone, who gets in... oh, no, not Azure. Oh, well, Azure got into a crash, not of his own doing again. Seems to be a magnet for disaster this season, the 46 team. But that's going to trap Claire Alcier in the pit lane, we thought. But since Alcier came in before the yellow was drawn, well... they didn't bring the 11 car in again, and she cycled through back to the lead with Jacob Eichholz in 2nd. So, lucky break for Claire Alcier and Jacob Eichholz. Quan Singh pitted... oh, come on! He pitted while the rest of the field was getting the one to go, pulled out right in front of a couple other cars. That just looked really stupid. And let's see it again, and, oh, as you see right here, it looks pretty much the same thing. There's an apron there that I think he probably should have used because he was several laps down and wadded a couple of cars up there that had no business being in any kind of crash, especially one that I think he could have solved if he was paying the slightest bit of attention. Anyways, Alcier now having to deal with more traffic. There goes Ashley Tucker in the 12, who is way back. Tucker's kind of disappeared down the order. As Alcier in the 11 car now having to deal with a lot of lap traffic. Eichholz is having to deal with it as well. But a car that Alcier might have to be aware of coming through the field is right. You can see him right in the background of the shot, the 14 of Lane Cranston. Cranston is using this lap traffic to his advantage. He's going for the lead right now. Lane Cranston says, move over. Here I come. And Middle Tennessee Motorsports is going to the lead with Lane Cranston as she's 3 wide with Claire Alcier and the lap car of Dan Richards. And I'm pretty sure Claire Alcier is not going to have anything nice to say about Dan Richards at the end of today. As Lane Cranston moves into the lead of the race, Alcier slides it up the track. Although I think Alcier might be looking in her mirror, trying not to get destroyed by the 133 car who is all over the track. Oh, geez, Dan Richards is not giving Alcier anything but migraines right now. Han Young Sung in the 71 car has also had a pretty good restart, and he's now up to 5th place. He is marching his way to the front of the field. Oh, as Takumi Nagata slides into the 71. That could have been a big wreck right there. Archer Harris in the 79 is thankful that it wasn't a big crash. Calvin O'Reilly there in the 67. There's Quan Singh. Brandon LaRoe on the inside of the 71, but he's holding them off. It's a pretty, they got that car hooked up as, oh, Jacob Eichholz gets together with Bobby Dollar, and that's the same thing I have to say about what happened with Quan Singh. I think not paying attention caused that one. Lane Cranston leads, Buffy Boreana's 2nd, Claire Alcier 3rd on this restart. Cranston in this 14 car, doesn't look like anyone really has anything for him as soon as a run kind of settles in. And but I would like to point out, though, that under that caution, he didn't pit. Everyone else in the lead lap did. So Lane Cranston might be pushing it on fuel. So I don't think fuel will be a concern here. This track is As like I said, this is the smallest track on the circuit, but Lane Cranston might be playing with fire here. There's Claire Alcier back in third. There's Buffy Boreanaz in car number 24. James Jones is also making some headway through the field in car number 1. He's gotten around Buffy, and there's the 426 car coming in. The Annie Mia car enters the pit lane. But James Jones really showing some of the magic that Troy Adams showed with this car. So Down Under Motorsports might get a second Australian TM Lights title at this rate if he keeps things going. Here is car number 14, Lane Cranston, who, no, he's sputtering, I think. The 14 car just might be sputtering on fuel. Lane Cranston's going to have to pit with just 2 laps to go. That's less than a mile left on this. Can you believe it? Lane Cranston in trouble. And what's going to happen there? James Jones takes over the lead, but same thing befalls the 1 car. So he runs low on fuel, and that means that Han Yong-sung in the 71 car assumes the lead of the race. And Han Yong-sung, the Korean driver, he's good to go on fuel. I think people were expecting some more cautions before this one was over, and that didn't happen. And Han Yong-sung comes through and steals the victory in the 71 car for Gravity Racing in that team's home race. Leah Cerrone and Claire Alcier completed the podium. Leah Cerrone in that 8 car made it work on strategy. Axel Andersson did as well. Jacob Eichholz recovered. Joel Rodriguez, Thurston Blood, Mad Uncle Melrose, Steve Holliday Jr., and Friedrich Jaeger rounded out the top 10. Paul Lyons, Brooke Ingverson, Cameron Taylor makes it work here in his home race. He was supposed to be running the Master Cup race tomorrow with Team Timothy. He'll do that instead in a Manacor Engineering car. Daxter Hamlet in the 54 car. Matt Brinson, the Brinson Engineering car, more points for him. Bob Steffens in that team's home race. Mark Blackwell, Jacob Card, Jim Davidson, and Scott Washington round out the points in what was a surprisingly clean event today. And let's have a look at the TM Lights Championship. After 11 races, Axel Andersson still leads by 4 points. Han Yong-sung, however, with his first win, moves up into third. Bobby Dollar, Claire Alcier, Matt Brinson, the top 6 in the championship. Brinson still has the pace. He's just falling away a little bit, but I wouldn't count him out just yet. Paul Lyons, Leah Cerrone, Steve Holliday Jr., and Friedrich Jaeger round out the top 10 in the championship. Jim Davidson, sitting back there in 11th, has had a pretty solid year. Ashley Tucker, Scott Washington, Brooke Ingverson might be a little higher if she hadn't gotten hit with a couple of penalties earlier in the year. Jacob Card, Buffy Boreanaz. Jacob Eichholz is really beginning to turn things around. Ike Durbin really has sort of fallen off as of late. James Jones in car number 1 has had quite a few strong results lately. In that car number 1, wouldn't be surprised if he won a race before this year's out. Bob Steffens in the 07 car rounds out the top 20 in the championship. The TM Lights will once again run with the Master Cup Series cars next time out, and it will be at the Grand Detour of Western Illinois in Quincy.